All right, peace to the true ones. Now, I be watching Kev Gills. I've been watching Kev Gills. Well, actually, me and Kev Gills. Well, Kev Gills he used to watch my channel back when I was Dasi. You know, he's pretty cool. He just told me I was a very smart young lady on one of my videos. But Kev cool, but sometimes he be tripping. He be off. He be a little off on things. You know what I mean? But he pretty much laid the groundwork to help reveal who Nipsey is and why they, killed him. Well, killed his clone, I should say that. Like I told y'all what happened with Nipsey. He invisible. Let's just put it like that now, just like the others I told you who were made invisible, okay? If you want to know, you got to go back in my videos and watch from the very beginning to even understand what the hell I'm talking about, okay? Anyway, back when I was Dasi Kadasi, that's when I first had a conversation with Kev. But that was in like 2017. But anyway, you see this says G.r.y.d. G.r.y.d. Okay. Now check this out. What do I say all the time? I've been saying for a long time. Grid down activities, right? Grid down activities, grid down activities, grid down activities, grid down activities. It's more than this too. This is just because they don't pull up everything I ever said about grid down activities. Grid down activities, grid down activities. This 2021, grid down activities. It goes way further than 2021. Okay, I've been telling everybody the power going out. I mean, if you go listen to my message that I left when I first came back, I leave messages of music. You know what I mean? And one of my videos I took from my old channel when I was Dasi Kadasi, I put back on this channel, and I made that video in 2018. And I tell everybody we about to black out the sky, but it's deeper than that. This is all spiritual too. So the grids are coming down, and the grid that he's talking about with Nipsey is the grid program that Big U is in charge of. And Kev just put a lot of stuff together. So you see, because remember I told you God is controlling all this exposure, because all of this is leading up to revealing who God is. And I told you we are reaping the wheat and the tares. That this is the separation, and everything is going to be exposed because of the reaping. Things are being shaken, and it's a separation. People have to see. It's the great unveiling. It's the apocalypse. Everything is being rebuilt, and we are in everything is being revealed, and we are in a position to where we have to destroy what is no longer needed so that we can continue to create. That's why the earth has to be reborn too. So a lot is going on at one time, but this program grid, Big U is in charge of, and it's some police shit. And he's just showing you how I told you. Remember when I said, some big shit finna go down, big changes coming, something big about to happen with the police. And then that same week I said that all this shit started happening with Hassan and Whack 100 and all the stuff about Nipsey is because they're revealing God. God is doing all this, and they're going to, bring justice for the image that they portrayed to you, showing the crucifixion of Christ on TV. So this is all a part of judgment, and even though that wasn't even really Nipsey that they killed on that fake ass footage, and Kev break this down too. He exposes the fake footage, how they layered it, how it wasn't real. Kev do a good job exposing everything about this. He's put the puzzle together, but he don't see what it's really about, even though he knows the theory about Nipsey being Christ. He's heard that in the beginning. He's already heard the connection with the Eritrea and Ethiopia, and Ethiopian prophecy, which Ethiopia is where Christianity came from. Okay, and how the Lion of Judah is supposed to come out of there. That's where he's from, and he was born in August, that's Christ's real birthday. Was in August, not in December. He a Leo. You know what I mean? Look at the age he was when they crucified him, and it was right before Easter. They're telling you, you just have to put this shit together. I'm telling you, and I'm the truth. I'm telling you, he's Yeshua. Not to be confused with Jesus, which is Lucifer, according to Revelations 22:16, where it says, I, Jesus, the morning star, and you know that the morning star is Lucifer. There's a difference between Yeshua and Jesus, okay? And I told you how they spirit cooked the Jesus image and took attributes from different deities or gods that lived before to create him. And they used Yeshua's story too, because he was lynched. That's what happened to him. And I told you how they used it, how God used his energy to put a Christ consciousness grid on the planet to quarantine it so that the evil couldn't leave and spread more evilness around the omniverse. So this planet has been in quarantine, and it was because of Nipsey's energy. He's the reason why it was put in quarantine. That's why he died, and he was pure. He was the first soul born since the fall, and no other soul has been born after him because everybody's been reincarnating, but he was the first one since the fall. Let me pause that, because it just hit me that y'all don't realize that after Nipsey died, what happened the next year? We went into quarantine. It's prophecy playing out. I'm putting the pieces together I'm helping you see so you can put the pieces together. You don't have to believe me. I'm just here to tell you and show you. You hear me? That's all I'm here to do, is to show you. But what happened? His clone was killed in 2019. Then what happened in 2020 of March, the same month that he was so-called murdered? What happened in 2020 of March? The next year. Almost a year to the day that he died. The planet was put in quarantine for coronavirus. And I told you they just using coronavirus to cover up us collapsing the economy and bringing in the apocalypse and destroying all our enemies. Pay attention. I ain't never lied to none of y'all about nothing from the beginning. And if I said something in error, I'll correct myself, because God continuously learns as well. I'm forever evolving. Y'all got to get the perception of God that y'all have in your head out, because they've lied to you about everything. Of God, everything. Yes, you're gods and goddesses too. Like, duh, if you come from God, you couldn't be any less. Okay? Pay attention. While that was born, he had to be pure. He couldn't be affected by the fall. Little brother. He had to have his pure, clean energy. Nipsey is your little brother. This is your baby brother. They're doing all this shit. So that's why he was crucified or lynched. That's what happened to him. They beat him down real bad and hung him in a tree. That's what they did to Yeshua. All right, and we are in the apocalypse, and this has to be revealed. Like in Revelations 12, when they say the woman had she got mad and she was going through birth pains because the dragon, which is not really the dragon, it's her dragon that comes out in defense of Nipsey. All right, in these times. And he gets called up. They say he gets called up to his throne. He don't die. He gets called up to his throne. That's because he got called up to the mothership. And he had to be purified through my blood first. I explained this in a video already. He had to be cleaned. And he got called up on a spaceship to do his work and take the Christ consciousness grid off the planet, because we're about to go home to the city of peace. A new heaven and a new earth is being created right now. The whole omniverse is about to get an upgrade. We're leaving, and this shit has to be wrapped up. He had to take that off the planet. And that happened 3 days before they killed his clone. He had already been taken off the earth, and they knew it. But they was already plotting to kill him. When they found out that they couldn't kill him, they just made a clone of him and sat him out there and crucified him on TV. All of this is being revealed because it's time, because we're about to reveal ourselves in the sky. We already have. You just can't see us because we have to take the power grid down. And we commanded all grids to come down, because this grid is going to, when this grid comes down, you're going to know that Nipsey is Yeshua. That's why this is grid down activities as well. Won't he do it? Ain't God great? You see how Great Spirit lines shit up? We taking out all grids so that you can see God. Like I've been telling you in my videos, the power grid has to come down so you can see what's going on in the fucking sky. The government needs the power grid to continue to control you through artificial intelligence, because they all dead already. And there's clones and computer programs running this illusion you're watching. And now the illusions is coming down because the grid is coming down so you can see the truth. Peace to the true ones.